and see who is ultimately the culprit here, but they are dispersing, and it does look like Aserai is gone. So, you know, someone's toting away his carcass here. A beautiful situation. And, you know, that's definitely, that's what you get, you freaking dipshit Aserai, right? This is Darwinism, medieval style. 800 years before Darwin, we got Darwinism involved. You come to the Highland Arena, you pay a steep price. Now, Baron York wants to finish off the Northern Empire. Of course, I want to finish off the Northern Empire here too, right? We're going to try to put a sword to the kidney here, a la Napoleon when he was following the British and the Spanish Peninsula War. Let's try to finish off the Northern Empire here, and this is the best way to get war, right? Instead of trying to convince the pacifists, these Vlandian wussies, let's just raid some villages here, right? That'll cause war. Suddenly the Northern Empire hates us, people are getting executed, and our campaign continues to tilt towards the evil, nasty side, the brutish side of war. There's swarms of Northern Empire forces, and of course the Sturgeons are around here too. I guess conceivably we could get attacked here during the siege, but Baron York has no caution, right? The Bull, 2,300 defenders, although we should be able to starve the cities down to 1 day. Even with the StrengthenAI mod, right? When you have that many troops inside, they will run out of food. So, where the hell is this guy going? It's oh shit. I didn't even see the Northern Empire is sieging to the west of us here. Jason of the Northern Empire is taken prisoner by the looters. I love it. There's all kinds of carnage in this campaign as things sort of get out of hand here. Baron York now trying to destroy, I think this is the last Northern Empire city, and free up the Highlands Arena for Vlandian expansion. Of course, at times, you know, we've expanded far into the Highlands Arena. This campaign has gone back and forth, and hopefully there have been both enough breaks but enough chaos in between the battles in the Highland Arena to keep things fresh for you guys. Car Banseth is a really interesting city. In fact, Baron York would love to have Car Banseth as his keep, right? This is a highly defendable city. Now, that Northern Empire force just got destroyed. The Vlandians are on the warpath here. And Aserai, right, even though he's kind of in the way, is, you know, he's no longer the stout army leader that he was, right? He doesn't seem to be leading large armies. And you can't help but wonder, right, if his day is fading. Baron York is ascending here, clearly. So 1755 against 1802. I think this is going to work here. We've got the right siege configuration, which is usually to say they don't have any siege and we have it all. That's the right configuration. We've got a nice assortment of equipment here. A decreased ranged attack damage so that we can do a little bit more crossbow work here. We're going to continue to push the Baron's crossbow skill into this campaign. We can shoot on horseback now here. Even though it's at night, we're still going to push this. It was almost morning, right? So there should be some daylight at some point in this siege, and I don't want them to build a catapult here, right? You got to get the enemy build a catapult in this situation, and you suffer grievous losses. I'll have Baron lead the second here. I'm not going to individually go through each one of these lords here. We can just take most of these lords here and stick them in. We'll probably just stick them here with Baron, right? With the Baron, they can go head first. We'll try to protect the rest of the companions. In fact, we can take the 7th and 8th Division and sort of push them back as a bit of a rear guard, right? You don't do this in normal vanilla Bannerlord, but you need to do this all of a sudden in regular Bannerlord, right? It's a very different game. Got a nice location here for a fire catapult. That way the Baron can rack up some siege kills before the battle starts. And look at this. There's like siege camps here practically just built for our 7th and 8th Division. They can be reserves to be pulled up when the moment is right. The moment will probably be right when we're starting to really deal with the heavy press of the defenders. Now, some guys are like, why don't you tear holes in the walls? Because I don't want to get attacked from outside here by a huge force of Sturgeons or something like that. We've destroyed a lot of Sturgeon and Northern Empire assets in the last week or two of gameplay. And you don't really want them to rebuild while you spend a week and a half destroying the walls of the city here. So a little bit of a risk to get in the city here, but Baron is no stranger to risk, and he's also, he's big on just headlong assaults with not necessarily always the best planning, and then just trying to make up for it with brute force. We're not going to lead, don't worry. We're going to send this 2nd division up. The Baron definitely leads from the rear, or at least on a regular basis leads from the rear, as have military leaders throughout history. Now, that fire catapult just has the Baron's name written all over it, right? Any chance that the Baron has to cause 3rd-degree burns and dismemberment, he's going to take advantage of it. You can picture him raising his hand. I'll mount the catapult. I'll do it. I'll do that. That looks like a job for me. I can inflict some horrific misery here and permanent disfigurement to all sorts of other people that are not me. I'm signing up, right? The Baron's going to get on this catapult. And, you know, as usual, just trying to find the G spot here, that sweet spot. Almost hit our own troops there. Now, I'd love to see Comet Royal and these other companions gaining skills down there, right? The companions are a challenge, right? Because we're now pretty deep into this campaign. Voila, right? There goes 40 lives just vaporized by the Baron. You know, and we're starting to face horrifically powerful enemies. And we've got a bunch of companions that are like level 17 and 19. It's a challenge. We're going to have to power level them a bit. We talk on the channel sometimes about ways that you can power level your units. And this is certainly going to be one of those instances where we need to try to power level them, right? So we will do that whenever possible. Sometimes that means, you know, the Baron will be on his back because he gets knocked unconscious, and then we will play some of these units. Some of it will probably happen in battles you guys don't see. At this stage of the campaign, of course, we're showing Turio's party didn't join the battle. Okay, so these enemies are getting wise, right? They're no longer just readily joining battles here where they're going to get destroyed. You guys are knocking my horse around, you assholes. Shit. Okay. Stay boy. Actually, we can fire a few more here, and we're going to ride him up to the front lines. Out of the way here. I'm in charge. I'm not about to reload your catapult here. But at this stage, we're trying to show you the vast majority of the campaign action. We have had time lapses in this campaign. We have had, you know, the whole years pass, right, where I didn't show you guys much. There will be a point where I show you 85-90% of the action. In other words, we're not going to show you every single time we go sell a bunch of loot at a city, and we may not show you every time we restock a garrison while I tediously send 12 guys over here and 6 over there. But the majority of the battles, man, this catapult is moving wildly left and right. I mean, these are really far shots, so this kind of accuracy is very hard to dial in. But we're going to show you the majority of the significant battles from here on out, right? This campaign, we've fast forwarded to this action stage. You guys are not going to want to miss it, right? Every single battle can be epic. Even this, right? Even though it looks like we're pummeling the Northern Empire, don't forget we can get reinforcements behind us here. We just never know what's going to happen. So strap yourself in, right? A little bit of epic siege here, part of the Baron York campaign. And let's move some units up here. Let's start getting aggressive. This left side, it does look like they have a nice puncture there. Although, you know, Car Banseth is a pretty nasty city to defend. We'll see how the AI does here. I don't anticipate brilliant defenses by the AI. Get the hell out of the Baron's way. These guys are all pushing him out of the way. We're going to start shooting people here if you guys don't get out of my way. The Baron is getting more and more belligerent with fear, with despotism, with tyranny and power. His ego is growing, and the Baron is becoming more and more of an absolute fuck. You guys already probably love to hate the Baron. That's part of the purpose of this campaign. He's a villain arc for sure. But we're going to continue to commit atrocities here. God, these fucking enemy forces, man. They are just relentless. These are fucking militia blocking everything. Fuck you, little bull cut militia with the fucking birth control haircut. All right, let's get archers and infantry wrapped around this lower stage here. I'm pulling infantry around here to the enemy's left because I want to flank all these fuckers that are holding the stairway here. This is our fucking city, you bitches. A bunch of little recruits and militia. I'm gonna burn down your guys' hut just for resisting the Baron in the first place. Right, the Baron is definitely, and it's a lot of fun, of course, fellas, to play the anti-hero, right? The Baron is the hero of the story, and yet at the same time, he's a despisable. He's a little bit like Riddick. What's the guy's name? I can't remember the actor's name, but the guy who plays Riddick. anyways, it's he's definitely the anti-hero of Calradia here. The Baron will win a victory and then burn down the huts of all the villages. After winning a victory in impressive fashion, he'll commit war atrocities. That's going to continue in this campaign. God, that's all the crossbow we could get up on this ridge. I called like 120 guys up here. And it may we have a bit of a log jam on the ladder as these defenders here just fucking fight tooth and nail. Now, playing at home, I haven't had a chance to play with this new gaming mouse. It's very, very accurate. I've been playing around with a little bit just with web browsers and stuff like that in the meanwhile. And this thing is very, very accurate. Maybe a little bit too much hardware acceleration at this stage because it's, shit. I do not want to fall down here. I got 10,000 guys in my way. Push forward, man. Jesus. But we'll get used to the mouse. Sometimes, it takes you 15 minutes of playing before you start to feel comfortable with new equipment. I try to keep things steady for the channel, but I do play in 2 locations. Guys sometimes ask. I play at work sometimes, right? I play at work an awful lot of the time, in fact. That is because, of course, as a firefighter, sometimes we have a whole day where we don't get a call. Now, that doesn't mean, just to give you guys a little insight into our job, that doesn't mean we just sit around or go to bed as soon as we get to work. There's maintenance, there's equipment, there's nonstop training as a firefighter. But you do get some shifts where I can play 3 or 4 hours of Bannerlord. So a nice little hobby job for me here to play, make these YouTube videos, and then, of course, run out and do CPR a half hour later. It's a nice amalgamation of different professions here. Holy shit, there's a ton of defenders over there. Well, this is what you get with all these mods, with all these improvements, that everything from the AI units, they're fighting under elite lords, and they have, 2,000 defenders here, right? So there are hordes of troops here, and they are defending it vigorously. Look at these fuckers. Fuck you guys. We're definitely going to burn down some huts here after this siege. You fucking assholes. Just trying to get a puncture at one of these locations, stop these fuckers here from throwing rocks. And one of the key things in a situation like this is to try to get guys in the courtyard. So you'll see me look at these fucking guys here. There must be, the bounty must be really high on Baron York. Last I heard, on a role-playing level, it was 10 million. 10 million dinars. Look at these fucking assholes. This is unreal. It's like the tournament. Or it's like playing guys online where they parry everything and shit. Holy shit, the Baron is getting trapped here. I'm surrounded. Fuck me. Push in. This is unreal. I can't get our troops into the courtyard. There's a huge horde of elite troops here at the main gate. I'm being chased. Here comes reinforcements, just burst out in front of me. Fuck me. That side should be pushing in. I mean, usually this works very effectively, but the enemy does have an amazing amount of troops here, and I see gleaming iron everywhere I look. The enemy has elite troops. Let's try to kill some of this archer support here and help our guys get in the city. Holy shit. Can't quite squeeze through there. Archers are everywhere scorching. And this is what I meant. The city is defendable, and the AI here is doing a pretty admirable job. Of course, their units are taking 100 health and not dying with all these elite perks. Die, boar champions. God damn. And for sure, if you don't know that, if you face an enemy with a bunch of lords with elite perks, they parry more, they block more, they move faster on the battlefield, right? They get all kinds of those same perks that you give to your units. So this is, in a way, it's very much like playing another player who has a Bannerlord kingdom in this campaign, right? Well, just, you can just practically roleplay that the Northern Empire here is being controlled by a human opponent. The units are fighting tough, their lords are tough, and that's, of course, I'm not complaining, but it's precisely what we wanted in this campaign. It is a death match, it is a gnarly challenge, and it's not getting any easier. Look at, they're swaying back and forth, just kind of attacking our divisions as they come through the gate. This is almost how we would defend, and they even have a little bit of archer support. Holy fucking Zerg. I've called our units in here like 12 times, and they just can't seem to push in. They're out there stuck on the ladders. Get through the main gate. God, those are archers. You hate to send them in, but we got to do it here. Starting to get stressed here. I got fucking a horde, a zombie apocalypse of recruits, all trying to get the fucking bounty. Fuck you guys. Holy fucking Zerg is in here. I think this left side is key. We've got to keep pushing this left side, so we'll make a little bit of a concerted effort over here. Getting a shot at. Of course, I have almost no health now, right? I thought we'd be through this siege already. We're at like 15, 20% health. There's a huge Zerg of troops here. This is why we can't get through on this side. They've got that little narrow opening. And the AIs, for once, they're defending it pretty damn well. Like, these guys are, they're vigorously defending this side. You little fuckers. I mean, you love the challenge, and at the same time, it's fucking infuriating, right? They're just pouring in. It looks like a conveyor belt of enemy forces. And, of course, they're starting to parry everything. Die! On top of all this, holy shit, that was a huge flush of red, right? The enemy just mass executed a bunch of our troops. At the same time, you're really concerned about the fact that the Death for All mod is cranked too. As a commander, you don't want to lose companions. You don't want to lose your main character here, because Baron York, of course, can die. He can get killed in any one of these battles. Sort of miraculous that he's still alive. The dude's got to be 70 years old, right? He's old dude. I think he started this campaign at 50. We've got like 150 over here. How come that main gate is not burst through? I guess they all got killed there. Holy shit. I mean, archer support and a whole bunch of troops in there with gleaming armor. Yeah, I am so close to death. In fact, that last hit basically took me to the felt here. I'm down to the last 5%, 2%. I think we can try to move some troops here and start to command them from our location. Get these guys into the keep here. But I'm not going to be able to fight. I've got no health at all. I think I'm better off just shooting some guys here in the back while our units try to push through. But this is starting to get pretty dire. If we get backdoored here, this is where the Baron gets captured, right? A whole bunch of Northern Empire forces all of a sudden stream across the battlefield behind us. Oh shoot, as soon as I said that, I saw that. Those are allied forces. So at least we do have, oh shit, the Baron just got smoked. All right, let's see here. I want a different, here we go. Let's command Comet Royal for a bit, right? Comet Royal, one of our supporters. We can command her in this battle. We've still got 500 troops on the battlefield here. I gotta sit up. This fucking siege is way harder than I expected. Of course, I guess you can't take a siege of 2,000 for granted. But usually, you know, the Baron with his different siege acumens and our experience, we usually truck right through siege. Let's try the right side here. Clearly that left side is a no-go. The enemy's using fucking archers on the walls. Fuck you. This guy's up here. Bunch of little bootlicker archers. Now, Comet Royal, this is actually, I was talking about this a little while ago, right? This is kind of a good opportunity to power level companions. It's not really an exploit because it's not like she's going to be able to kill 200, but I might be able to kill 50, right? Or 30 or something like that and dramatically improve her skill set. We've got all these young companions, try to get them some skills here. So that side is just a chaotic scrum, and unfortunately, okay, those aren't even our troops. So the AI here is coming in and they're going to the wrong side. I'm going to try to split some divisions here and pull them to the other side because this left side looks like a non-starter. Damn it. All the enemy or allied forces are going to the wrong side. Wish they'd push through the gate, right? You want to just tell them, thrust through the gate. We'll take the right. The left has plenty of troops. At least some of our troops here. These are a mix of our troops and the troops that just came in. Reinforcements came in. You don't get control over reinforcements when they enter, right? When the reinforcements enter and it's some other lord, I don't get to command them. They're not our troops. They're not part of our army. These little fucking militia on the wall. I got an arrow for your jugular, dude. Here, catch one of these. Your shit's on fire. Catch an arrow right in the teeth. How did I miss that guy? I went like right through him. You're dead, man. That one literally went right through the guy like he's an apparition or something like that. Man, that was wild. I'm getting shot. Damn it. There's a huge Zerg of defenders over here. This fucking enemy. Man, they are defending vigorously here. And, you know, now we've got a mediocre character. No offense, Comet, but you're not Baron York, right? You're not going to just be able to kill 30 people and weave around and shit like that. She moves like she hasn't had a leg workout since 2011. All right, more reinforcements are coming. Feel good about that. Of course, you guys don't see the power bar. We got rid of that a while ago. We're going to continue to do that in these episodes. I've been told by a lot of guys that there are mods that get rid of the power bar, but I'm just going to do it this way. It's just a lot easier for me. And there are instances where I want the power bar showing. Here comes the sun over the horizon. Feeling good about the reinforcements coming in, at least on our side here. But our positioning here is bad. We're getting shot and scorched. These archers down here are thick, mowing down the guys at the gate. And there's a huge press of just tough infantry here. I'm not sure we could push there. Trying to get troops into the courtyard. They have 500 infantry in the courtyard, though. Man. Oh, shit. That one hurt. That did like half of her health there. Getting shot in the neck. Then we killed one of our own guys. Starting to feel a little bit of frustration here. Take it out with the axe murderer here, but she's not going to be able to, just conquer this side on her own, right? She's got like a 80 or 100 two-handed skill. And we just can't push through these defenses. They're just all over us. Every time I kill archers here, more just appear too. The enemy, obviously, shit, down goes Comet. We're going through companions and units left and right, and the death spam looks really bad. Man. Let's see if we can't get up here on the walls with this guy. This guy's got crossbow and a polearm skill. He's our oldest character. This guy, or at least he's our longest held character. I'm pretty sure I got him literally in episode 2 or something like that of this campaign. For those people who watch and want to know, I did film a lot from the early stage of this campaign, but they're Patreon exclusive, right? They were not the most thrilling battles, although there were a lot of amazing battles. It's that early stage where you have 20 units against recruits and shit like that. What the fuck is going on here? This is unreal. The enemy literally is defending like they're possessed here. These recruits are fighting like they're all seasoned veterans of the arena. Look at this shit, blocking everything, swinging their sickles at us. Fuck. I mean, we have a lot of troops still, but so does the enemy. Look at this shit. They just poured in a bunch of nasty-looking infantry, and I'm alone all of a sudden here. Our forces got annihilated here, and of course I can't jump off here. So we're getting the peasant beat down here. I don't have hardly any troops. I have like 100 troops left on the battlefield. So, there's reinforcements coming in, but we can't control them, and God knows what they're doing, right? Just grinding their units up here. I'm trapped up here. This guy can't get down. The enemy's thick over here. I have half my health bar. The only thing I can hope is that the AI, our units, and the reinforcements are pushing through the main gate. I don't think I'm going to be able to get enough troops over here to really make a big thrust. This city is so defendable because of this door right here, right? This narrow opening. You can only get like 2 guys across in that doorway, and I see hordes of the enemy right through there as we try to survive against this axe murderer. We tore your limbs. All right, let's get archers. Oh shit, these are their archers. I thought that was our archer. Do we have any troops up here? It's almost like the ladders are pushed. They are. They're fucking pushed off. This is unreal. I'm stuck up here then. Holy shit, there's a ton of troops in here still. We might lose this siege. This siege, honestly, it looks like a siege we've lost. Now, where the fuck did our reinforcements go? It's like they fled. Things were looking pretty good there. A bunch of reinforcements are coming in, and I don't see hardly any reinforcements. The only thing I see is enemy troops vigorously defending. Everywhere I go somewhere, I'm getting slashed in the face. You fucking recruits. The Baron is getting angry. I'm getting angry. Man, we don't get made look like a bitch very often in this campaign, but we do right here, right? I'm just going to jump out. Those are all enemy forces. It's like we don't have any allies here at all. The enemy's sallying out of the city. We're going to have to retreat. Can we control? Okay, we can control her. Fall back. I guess we'll fall back to the siege camps and restart. This is unreal. I mean, you guys don't see us fail at siege very often, but you don't see us face these kind of challenges. Now look at that shit too. 700 troops retreated. So there's part of the problem. Our ally joined, and then they just scrammed like cowards. Now, is this them? 700? Yeah, there they go. Okay. Are you guys going to join? At least they're going to join. So that was wild. They joined in battle in the siege, but I guess they just assessed that we couldn't win it, and so they fled. But nevertheless, our force, we didn't get annihilated there, but we got seriously repulsed, right? That's like, that word is custom made for that scenario. And we got to start over here. And that Vlandian force just ditched us. They just took off. So there's some nefarious shit going on in this campaign. They join us, then they ditch us. I mean, I guess that's what Baron York did to Aserai as well, right? Like, you know, you at this stage, you're starting to paint the picture of every man for himself. And this Northern Empire force is fucking surrounding us. We're getting attacked. These guys are definitely coming in hot. Holy shit.
Halt. Before.
Well, the only good news is that it's an open field battle. I feel a lot better about an open field battle. This is wild, right? This AI is just fucking fighting like wolves. You know, of course, all these different mods. This is actually great. Basically, this is simulating that we fell back from the city. Now, you'd love to see them just attack you in the battlefield that's right outside the city. Even better, the AI could stick some archers on the walls to sort of simulate that the Keep Siege is being attacked. There's rumors that Tailworlds has that kind of stuff planned for the future. The reinforcement mod does a decent job of simulating that. But what you really want to see here in a situation where the enemy is attacking you right outside the city is the city should be right there. You should be fighting on the battlefield, maybe near the siege camps. And maybe the enemy should have the ability on some level to have the garrison come running down, maybe X the militia, right? The militia wouldn't do that shit in real life. They'd be like, fuck that, man. My job here is to be the baker. I might shod your horses and shit like that, but I'm not about to charge out against a veteran, experienced, paid army. Fuck no. But the troops might, right? That's definitely a possibility. Now, this is quite the change, right? From fighting in those closed environments. And I'm eager to put a whip in here on this Northern Empire force. Most importantly, too, we can kill these forces before they join as reinforcements, right? If these forces didn't attack us, they're bolstering their forces. They're getting more troops. Join the battle as an enemy. I mean, this campaign, you just buckle up, friends. Who knows what the hell to expect. The one thing you can expect in this campaign is gnarly chaos, carnage, the craziest Bannerlord campaign you've ever seen, right? There might be something like this on YouTube, but I consistently get guys that say there's nothing like this, right? With Ultra, one guy had a perfect quote. He's like, just non-stop chaos, juggernaut, huge epic battles with T-1000 enemy lords. Of course, he's referring to the Terminator series. That's very much what this is like, right? With just juggernaut, ultra over-the-top powerful enemies, the reinforcement system, the Battlesize mod, all the different storylines that we're weaving in here. This is playing out better than I expected, and I expected good things, right? Like, this is just turning into a gnarly. It's like an epic saga at this stage, and the personalities are growing, right? Baron York is despised. Aserai is a stupid coward. Baron York's wife is an obedient but grumbling and starting to become annoyed wife at home with kids that are being exiled. The Baron's children are out there, fomenting their own revenge and whatnot. There's all kinds of different juggernaut kingdoms. Wazuban from the Aserai campaign is here. So are these juggernaut Nords, right? These incredibly powerful Viking-type units. And we've got just a beautiful campaign for you fellas to enjoy. Don't know if I'll be able to top this, right? Don't know if we can have a more gnarly and chaotic campaign. The enemy's pouring in a gigantic vanguard. There are troops chasing after the Baron, trying to get that ransom. Make you pay for that shit, but cost you your head. We've got this division pretty well fleshed out, though. They're chasing our square. We're going to be able to slam into their side with cavalry and charge with that 3rd division. Let's keep them occupied a little bit longer here to soften them up. Okay, we're getting reinforcements now, and it's just total carnage, right? That's the best way to describe this at this stage of the campaign. You just don't know what's going to happen. You literally, from moment to moment, you've got to do the very best you can to plan still, but you just don't know what to expect. Now, we are going to sandwich this infantry vanguard with 2 cav divisions or a shock troop division, and eventually we'll charge with that 1st division as well. They're holding in a square right now. Look at how badly we've strung out these troops here. They're all pursuing. They now get carved apart and attacked by cavalry. They've got a huge archer line here, too. The enemy's got a huge amount of troops in this battle. And, of course, add to all that the Battlesize mod, right? Functioning beautifully, I must say. 60 frames a second. We're consistently getting, sometimes we get 80 or 100. even with these titanic huge battles and all the colorful effects. That's Comet. Let's join Comet here on foot. This battle should be relatively benign. I say should be because it can change in a heartbeat. Baron relishes fighting on foot, right? He's going to ride his horse a lot, but he wants some revenge here. These bastard Northern Empire forces made him look like a bitch at Car Banseth. We're going to sack and destroy some forces here today. The Baron is getting very angry. You know, guys with huge egos don't like losing, right? So the Baron, every time he loses here, just turns into even more of a tilted, jaded, vindictive sack of shit. Vindictive is one of the worst character traits humankind possesses, and the Baron York has it in spades. Oh shit! A good thing I didn't get hit with the tail end of that axe swing. That was gnarly. That Varangian just wound up and swung as hard as he could and just clobbered somebody. Fortunately, it looks like the spinal column of that troop it hit broke the axe swing and didn't kill Baron York, because that was a vicious swing. Let's charge these bitches. It looks like most of the forces are routing or pulling back. Let's get on horses here and ride down these bitches, right? We're in for some vindictiveness in this campaign here. Okay, some of them are reforming here. Some of their forces are falling back while we're cutting them down here. Cut them down! You know, the Baron, no mercy, right? No mercy, no quarter, right? Absolute vindictive bloodlust here by this guy. He's covered in blood. He doesn't like looking bad in front of his troops, right? The same way that I don't like losing battle, even though you guys obviously understand what we're doing here, trying here is extraordinarily difficult. I don't like losing battle, and the Baron doesn't even have my temperate patience, right? This guy's infuriated by failure. He always blames other people, too. It's definitely not his fault. He's going to blame some other commander, just like Napoleon. It's always so-and-so's fault. We're going to court-martial this guy. The great narcissistic leaders of our time are very, very good or very ugly about their basically scapegoating and turning other people into the target of general public negative opinion here. The Baron is not about to take bad press as his own. All right, so this Northern Empire force fled. There's a handful of units still fighting here, and we've still got the siege. This is just unreal. So it's a siege. We come in, there's a gnarly, huge battle against 2,000 troops. Now we get ambushed outside the city, and we're going right back to the city here for more, right? The Baron wants more. Kill every single Northern Empire fuck here. It's time for some torture here. Maybe we'll talk about some of the medieval tortures, because you think the Baron is savage. All you gotta do is look at the actual people from world history, more savage than you can imagine, right? They were burning them at the stake and shit like that. That wasn't bad enough, right? They were like, well, that's not enough pain. They die in 10 minutes. Let's really inflict some pain, right? As we win this battle here in the sunrise. Critically, I was gonna say no deaths for our side at least, and the Baron gives a shit not about the enemy. I think we'll just auto-resolve this. Not too bad of results there, but they would, instead of burning them at the stake, they would suspend them in chains over fire and lower them into the fire and then pull them out of the fire, lower them into the fire. There were instances where it would take 4 or 5 days to sort of slowly roast a guy and burn all the fluids out of them. Their feet would melt and their eyeballs would start to melt and all the other horrific shit, and they would still be alive for days. I mean, you think the Baron is savage. Real life history is much more savage than anything that the Baron could conceive of. Almost unimaginable, the kind of shit they were doing back then. All right, so we've got the city in bad shape here, but our army is in worse shape, right? We have less than half the defenders. We've taken such a beating now in these 3 battles. We have over half of our army is injured, and 2/3 of it is just straight slain. Not all these other units have good medicine skill like the Baron. So we're hurting here, right? Our units are banged up, and I'm not sieging right now to try to build siege weapons or anything like that. The walls are down, both walls, but our army is too injured, right? And I'm in a little bit of a hurry here because we could easily, all of a sudden, 2,000 sturgeons could pour over the edge of the horizon, and the Baron be captured. He can get killed, and I love that stress, right? Now, I want this other catapult built, but we're probably just going to launch it just like this. We're not going to let that fire catapult build there. Imagine the stress knowing every single battle you could lose 3 companions. The Baron could get captured and executed, right? The Baron is widely despised. So there's strain and stress, I can tell you for sure, as the content creator here, as the guy playing the Baron. But it's also good stress, right? Because we are ultimately playing a game. And if the Baron dies, the campaign's not over, right? We will write some new storyline, or at least we will adjust our storyline to events and move forward. Now, Baron has had enough, right? It's time for a royal throttling here. We're taking no chances with this keep siege. In fact, I'm going to sit up in my chair here. A little bit of extra focus. Let's get some caffeine. Get our archers assigned here in nice big swaths, and I'm going to push through with 2 separate infantry divisions, the 1st and the 2nd. We do want to wait on some level for the ram, right? So it's another situation where it makes sense to mount one of those fire catapults, inflict. Like I said, Samandri, the Brotherhood didn't join the battle. Good. You bitches better not join. The reinforcement system remains the great equalizer here. You can think you're in a great position for a siege, and then the enemy will bring in 800 defenders from the outside. Let's push in here, boys. They're mounting the fire catapults. Those guys are scorching our troops. 1st and 2nd here, we're going to shove through hard on this left side. But I think we'll also try to make a big press through the gate. I can't move for some reason. Come on, God damn it, I'm getting stuck up here. Probably get killed by a fireball now. Out of my fucking way. God damn it. I got stuck. I couldn't move my character. Now he still can't move. I got banner knights in the way. Baron is getting angry. I'm actually getting angry playing. Like, in a good way. I'm getting frustrated. A bunch of archers here in the 5th and 6th. Let's try to sweep this left side. There's going to be a hole over here too, right? Let's see what this looks like. Troops have already punctured a hole. Let's push hard here. Let's get a bunch of infantry and push right through the center here. In fact, you could argue just bring the 2nd division over here, right? Don't send the 2nd to the left. We've got a little bit more access over here. There is a horde of enemies, but maybe we can sweep around over here by these little hovel, raggedy-looking Battanian houses here. If we can get archers up here, too, there's enough elevation, they'll be able to shoot down into the enemy ranks at the gate there. Where are you going, Jagoff? God, the enemy does have a horde of troops inside the city. Is this 10,000 or is it 1,000? I swear they have 10,000 here. But we've got a huge breach on this side. You didn't need that leg, right? You two, militia, on your back. All right, there's nobody up here. We can do a little pot shotting down here. Get up there, 2nd division. What? Oh, shit, this guy's shooting here to our left. There's fucking tons of archers. And the AI is defending the city very well. I mean, they've got archers on the walls in just the right locations. Are there more guys in here? Someone ran by me. Ooh, little bastards. Okay, so 7th and 8th have pushed by the enemy. Look at all those archers in there. Those guys can push forward and charge and hold fire. Let's see what our angles look like down there, right? We might be able to get archers spread out on that hill overlooking all these forces here, because there is a huge force defending that main hole now. It's like as soon as we push through these 100 guys, the AI was like, hell no, nobody else is getting in. Our fire catapult is doing work. Now let's see if we can't loop around in the city, run around with all these troops to the backside and just totally backdoor all the enemy troops. Maybe not. We've got all archers here. Man, that's too bad. It's a dead end over here, but we could probably take advantage of some of these elevational spots here and shoot into all those defenders at the gate. Let's charge with that division. Let's push those guys up. At least 1 or 2 of these divisions we can get set up where I'm at. Look at the line of sight. I wish I could tell them, climb this ladder, get on that roof, start scorching the enemy, but alas, it doesn't work quite that well. If I can shoot, they'll shoot. Baron is not a huge character. He's kind of average height. You guys, and they are shooting beautiful. They're right next to me just smoking. Now, what the hell was that? The enemy doesn't have any siege, and yet they just killed, oh shit. They just killed like 100 units. I wonder if that was our own guy, friendly firing like 100 of our units. I didn't look. I just saw a huge red flush across the screen. And this is unreal. The enemy just will not give this city up. We've got our troops bottled up there in a meat grinder. Let's see if we can't push in troops behind them. We've got these divisions here. I didn't mention it because I was talking 1,000 miles an hour. This is basically our rear guard. It's all I can afford. have like 50 or 70 archers up on these elevated positions. We do have this mixed division that I was keeping back, so let's bring the 4th up here. Ivlis army didn't join the battle. Thank goodness. Some troops are not joining, right? They must sense that this battle is over. These lazy bitches at the gate didn't want to take the gates down, so I guess we'll do it all there, fellas. Just let the Baron do it, right? He is going to do some murder. The Baron is getting very, very angry. You get a sense that he's starting to get very short with his answers. People are asking, should we charge? And he's like, he glares at him and is like, get your asses in there, right? The Baron is fucking furious. He's got to lead the vanguard because these bitches are cowardly. Get up there. I don't care if you're archers. Go. Let's get that 4th division in here. And you just, it's like you reach another level of competitiveness. When I play dodgeball and I start to even suffer like a moderate loss, I just start bull snorting and my brain gets like ultra focused and it's like, fuck you, enemy. We will not lose. I don't care how many there are, right? You just get furious. I got a little conqueror in me. Everybody does, right? You guys all got a little despotism, a little conqueror in you too. Let's get archers brought this way. God, look at these little wood runners and throwing their little fucking javelins at us. And there's a huge horde of elite troops in here fighting. This is surreal. I thought we'd killed most of the forces in the center, and there's still a good solid 150 elite troops here fighting like wolves. Die! I'm getting surrounded again. There's no allies here. Fuck, the Baron's gonna get fucking captured. The enemy's getting reinforcements. It's gnarly. Hurry the hell up. I called you guys 2 minutes ago. All right, the 2nd division at least is pushing through. We can get some archers set up here on this elevated position in the wall. Let's go, let's go. More enemies are approaching. This is wild. I didn't see who it was, but people are joining, right? The enemy's getting more forces here, as if it wasn't hard enough. Let's try to take the right side of this city, get archers up on those elevated positions. What do we got down there? That rear guard is still there. Well, let's get them in here. We got to start considering just trying to take and hold the city. They're going to have cavalry, right? Anytime you get reinforcements, there will be horses. And here, speaking of there will be concussions. You bitches didn't use your rocks. Thanks. The Baron will gladly hand out concussions. He's in a very violent mood right now. You would not want an alimony situation with the Baron right now. He would just kill the children and be like, see, now there's no payment necessary. No mouths to feed. It's fun just role-playing a psychotic murderer. All right, let's get troops up to that high ground there. And it's funny, I'm sure some guys listen and they're like, this guy's a sadistic murderer. The FBI should be aware of this shit. Friends, I garden, I play with frogs at the beach and shit like that. We have kids come over, I babysit them and say nice things to their 6-year-old kids. We're just role playing here, right? Don't report me to the FBI, right? They'll discover all the bodies under the cellar. Charge! God, we have a fucking scrum in the courtyard. The enemy's coming up in unknown numbers outside, probably more troops than we have. I think I just saw a horseman ride in. We got chaos. Let's pen up the front gate here. We'll have to worry about the two sides later. I said spread, you bitches. Spread, as in F2, F3. I start executing commanders here. Block that hole. Let's get an infantry division in there. That way they can't pour through hundreds of horsemen. At least we've got a good solid 150, maybe 200 troops in the courtyard here. Get the fuck out of here. I've got your back. All right, we're getting allies. That means the enemy's going to get sort of sandwiched here between our forces. Let's take a look here. That might indicate it's important for us to sally out here and attack whatever they got. Let's get at least some arrows here on the walls here where we can get archers up on the walls. And this plays out so brilliantly. It's just, this is how the Bannerlord's supposed to be played. What I mean by that is you're just supposed to have this kind of chaos and carnage, not the sort of ho-hum of vanilla where this siege is, you know, meh, and nothing exciting happens. Look at this shit. There's enemy forces pouring up. They're all running away. Or you know what they're doing? They're confronting the forces that just came to help us. So we've got basically a giant open field battle happening outside now. There's still forces fighting inside the courtyard. There's horsemen, and I fucking love it. Right? Look at that. There's Vlandian forces slamming into them. Let's get some troops here to assist them. I don't know if there's going to be more, right? There could be hundreds more Northern Empire. You want to put your foot on the neck. while you can. Get a few archers up here with me shooting at these guys. I've got hardly any health, otherwise I would just ride out there like a maniac. They're getting massacred too. Our allies that are out there are getting steamrolled, so there might be a lot of enemy forces out there. We got to support them on some level. It's a chaotic scrum. We are getting divisions established out there. I think we'll grab ourselves a horse here and participate now. And this is the craziest sequence of siege events I've ever had in Bannerlord. Just you siege, you lose, you fall back after you're repelled, you fight an open field battle outside the city, then you siege the city again, you get inside, it's a brutal fight just to get in there. There's horsemen riding around, the enemy sallies out to attack you, our allies attack the enemy. I mean, it is priceless. And look at this courtyard. You're telling me this is not the scene of a crime? I mean, that is incredible. It is just strewn with the dead, corpses and body parts and some blood splattered everywhere. This is just wild. We'll get a little car upgrade here, just like Grand Theft Auto. We just picked up, you know, the Hummer or the Jeep or whatever. Now we can start really smashing people. And let's see if we can't help with the open field battle here. We could fall back if we need to, but it looks like there's maybe a couple hundred Northern Empire forces out here, and there's more coming up, but it looks manageable. Let's get in here. Let's get archers down here. Those are our forces. The defenders inside are handled, right? Otherwise our forces would have been fighting still. So we've got the city. Now it's just a question of whether or not we can repel this counterattack. And I think that answer is yes, right? We're starting to mop these guys up. There's a commander there. You bastard. You're dead, whoever you are. We've got ourselves a little opportunity to run down a fleeing noble here. Of course, these nobles are all demigods, right? They have 280 one-handed and 300 riding. That's why you can't catch him. He's running, moving on his horse faster than the Baron. You bastard. We can have a little duel here outside this Batanian city siege. Of course, they take less damage. That's they get extra hit points. We've already slashed the shit out of this guy and he won't die. Die! Fuck. You fucking... Let's switch to two-handed here. No, maybe that was a bad decision. The Baron got owned. And these lords, it's like fighting another player. It's badass, man. It's like we're online playing those kiddies with the fighter pilot reflexes and shit that just own you. Then they teabag your ass. I think our guys shot that guy to death. That guy might get executed, right? Made the Baron look bad. He's very lucky that didn't happen in front of all the troops here and make the Baron look exceptionally bad. We are still suffering deaths, right? To the death for all, but it's been kind of tame in the last handful of battles compared to that other shit. And I just threw my head back in my chair in relief. What an exhausting battle. This one battle, there's more? Oh, this is just the center keep. This one singular siege of Car Banseth was gnarlier than 5 or 10 episodes sometimes. That was just back and forth, a wild, brutal affair. Of course, you know, Aserai now, wherever he is, being toted off by the Sturgeons or whatever. We still didn't see what happened to him. It looked like he got captured, but they ditched us here as well. Penton of the Embers died in battle. Let's devastate this city, right? Let's cause some more carnage in this campaign. I don't even give a shit if people don't like it. The Baron's starting to care less and less about his reputation as more and more people kind of diss him and treat him poorly. The Baron gets enraged, right? The Baron goes the opposite direction, starts to tilt out and lose what composure he had. I want to execute Tassinor. Let's see what this shit looks like here. We have... look at all the prisoners taken. I mean, are you fucking kidding me? This is all one battle. I mean, or at least that sequence of a battle. This is unreal. I don't think I've ever seen a prisoner list that looked like that. What is that, 60, 70 troops that are taken prisoner here? Of course, some of them were probably just nobles that were in the city, but there were so many armies involved with these 3 different battles that the list of people taken prisoner it takes like a minute just to scroll through and look at all the names. We could take a look at the dungeon here. And the Northern Empire is on their last legs, right? 72 nobles inside this prison. I can't even put guys in, probably. It's overstuffed, and it's completely... Here's the Northern Empire. Their whole empire is in our dungeon right now. And Tassinor, that's the guy, right? That's the guy. If we can get our hands on Tassinor, that guy's a dead man. Fucking asshole made the Baron look bad. And I think let's break it right here. This is a good spot to break up. We've got Éowyn. It almost looks like Éowyn over there. I wonder if that's intentional. Éowyn, the Rohirrim gal. We have Éowyn, the Vlandian army is sieging Pendraic. Of course, there's Sturgeon armies forming to the south. This war is going to continue. This campaign continues, right? As it gets gnarlier and gnarlier, and the Baron gets angrier and angrier. The Northern Empire is down to Calais Castle, so they're on their absolute deathbed, right? We're fixing to pull the plug, and then the real war is about to start, right? The Aserai, the Sturgeons, it's going to get gnarly. So, of course, if you want to see more from this campaign, and I don't know why you wouldn't, right? This campaign's been amazing to play. I hope you guys are enjoying watching. You want to subscribe, hit notifications. That way you know when new episodes come out. I'll do my very best to keep you guys entertained with some lively commentary, some F-bombs from time to time, and, of course, plenty of gnarly tactics and giant battles. I appreciate your support. Please hit that like button on the way out. Of course, we have more episodes from this Vlandian campaign and other guides on the Patreon channel. Little self-plug there. I appreciate you, fellas. And with all that said, I will see you all and friends and everybody else and the Baron next time.